Here's what's happening now. Sunshine and 50s were nice today, but the transition has already started. We'll tell you where we'll end up by the end of the week. Paula.
So how do you learn to give? You start as a child. The art and the ease of giving through the eyes and hands of children.
Also, first at 4, breaking news, a presidential recount in Michigan. The Green Party's Jill Stein is requesting a review of your votes. And Jason Colthorpe is live.
Karen, this Detroit neighborhood on the north side is pretty quiet at this hour, but it wasn't long ago that police were out here en masse searching for someone who took shots at one of their own. My live report is first at 4.
Live from downtown Detroit. Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
First at 4, developing story in Detroit. Police are searching for up to 3 suspects after bullets fly in northwest Detroit. Chief James Craig says his officers were directly in the line of fire. Let's go live to Jason Colthorpe, who has been talking to the chief and witnesses. Jason, what happened?
Well, Karen, he called it an ambush, the chief did, and I just want to show you kind of the scene out here. They cleared out of here about an hour and a half ago, but earlier today, police were occupying this entire area. And we're talking blocks that way toward, I mean, you've got John R. here, State Fair down this way, a good chunk of it going house by house. And we have some video of officers heavily armed and masked at times going house by house searching, mostly vacant homes. Police tell me they recovered an AK-47 from one vacant home. They believe that is the gun that was fired at officers. Now, we also have some photos just released by DPD just a little while ago showing one person of interest and a vehicle they are trying to identify. Now, all of this going on, mind you, in the same neighborhood. We're just about a block and a half away from where the graffiti was found just a few weeks ago, graffiti that said, "Kill Detroit cops and kill James Craig." We asked the chief about this whole situation today.
We don't know if the initial volley of fire was targeted at a drug house on this block. But that said, as the officers came into the view of the suspect, he took it upon himself to start firing at the officers.
Yeah, now the chief, they're kind of wrapping up there. This is an area where gunshots are not unusual. There's a couple of drug houses he was referring to there, but he is saying officers felt they were under fire. Now, coming up at 5 o'clock, we also have some surveillance video we're going to show you that police are also going over right now for more clues. We'll show you that, and we'll hear from a neighbor who's lived here her whole life, and she's not surprised, cops were the target of gunfire. All of that at 5 o'clock.
All
Karen?
right. And that search continues for those suspects. Thank you very much, Jason. We also have breaking news from Lansing, where the presidential race could be revived with a recount of your votes. The Green Party's Jill Stein has officially requested a full hand recount of Michigan's presidential vote. She says more than 75,000 blank votes in the presidential race are a red flag, and she wants to ensure the integrity of the ballots. Michigan's Republican Party calls the request a, quote, temper tantrum that will cost taxpayers money. Our Guy Gordon is in Lansing right now, and we'll have more details on what comes next on Local 4 News at 5. Police officers gathered today from all around Michigan to remember Wayne State Sergeant Colin Rose. Rose was killed last Tuesday while trying to arrest a man near Wayne State's campus. Today, a public visitation was held at Ford Field as everyone mourned his loss, including Rose's canine partner, Wolverine.
He's bonding with his handler. You know, he goes home with him. The handler feeds him, the handler takes care of him, the handler trains him. So that's who he bonded with. That's who he looks for every day. That's who he goes to work for.
Rose's funeral is tomorrow morning at St. Joan of Arc Church in St. Clair Shores. His visitation today will end at 5 o'clock. One of the world's largest automotive suppliers is moving its global headquarters to Detroit. Adient, the world's leader in automotive seating, has announced plans to invest nearly $50 million in the Marquette building and move into the city. Along with renovating the Marquette building, Adient's move downtown is expected to bring up to 100 new jobs to Detroit. Well, in today's first forecast, enjoy that mild weather while you can, because Ben Bailey says we've got change.
Yeah, November's going out on a high note with temperatures well above average. We're still holding on to the 50s in most locations. Winds are noticeable, but not quite as bad as what we're going to see tomorrow. Temperatures go down, the winds go up, and we may get a flake or a flurry in a couple spots, even tonight as well, as those temperatures start to drop. Cold front is starting to move through, and by midnight we'll be down to 40, which means overnight lows in the 30s. Again, a sprinkle possible through the evening. Could see a flurry as we head towards tomorrow morning. We'll see if those clear out in time for the weekend and if we can get any of these warmer temperatures back. That's all in a few minutes. Karen.
All right. Thank you very much, Ben. President-elect Donald Trump sells himself as one of the most successful businessmen in the world. Well, today he's touting his first big deal as the next president, and he's tweeting about giving up his personal empire. Kimberly Gill is following the new developments in the Trump transition. Hi, Kim.
Hi, Karen. Good afternoon to you. President-elect Donald Trump has faced, as you know, a lot of criticism for possible conflicts of interest regarding his business holdings. Well, today he tweeted a series of messages about those concerns. The tweets say he will be holding a major news conference in New York City on December 15th with his children to discuss how he's leaving his, quote, great business to fully focus on making America great again. Since his victory, critics have been wondering how President-elect Donald Trump will juggle his business interests, especially in countries that are strategically important to the United States. Well, there are still a lot of questions to be answered on how this will all work out. House Democrats are already calling for a hearing on the issue. Now, Trump is expected in Indiana tomorrow to celebrate his first big deal as president-elect. The manufacturing company Carrier has announced it will keep 2 plants and almost 1,000 jobs in the state of Indiana. The company had been planning to move some of those jobs to Mexico. So far, no details on why the company changed its mind, and it's not clear if all the current jobs will be saved. But workers, as you can imagine, are very grateful.
When it comes to presidential candidates, you know, sometimes, if not all the time, a lot of times they don't do what they promise they're going to do. So if he does do it, I will tell him thank you personally for me.
Well, Carrier is owned by United Technologies, which received some big government contracts. Vice President-elect Mike Pence is still the governor of Indiana. All those factors may have played a role in the reversal. We don't know, but bringing back jobs was a major campaign promise from Donald Trump. This would be a step in the right direction, but it remains to be seen if he could get the same results with other companies. We'll have more on the Trump transition, including new cabinet appointments, coming up on Local 4 News at 5 o'clock. We'll see you then. And for now, Karen will just send it back to you in the studio.
All right. Thank you very much, Kim. In the southeast, 5 people are dead after severe storms ripped through the region Tuesday night. This is what's left of a daycare facility in northeastern Alabama. 3 children and 3 adults were injured in the building while they were taking cover. Emergency management officials say at least 25 homes and several other structures were damaged across the county. Much of the area remains under a tornado watch at this hour. In Tennessee, firefighters are battling high winds as they work to contain several wildfires. The death toll is now up to 4, with a dozen others injured and thousands forced to flee from their homes. Firefighters are hoping incoming rain will help suppress some active fires and prevent other ones from starting. Investigators believe these fires are the result of arson. The Red Cross is in the devastated regions right now helping local families. Well, this is the season when families reach out to help each other during the holidays. We marked Giving Tuesday yesterday when $168 million was raised in a 24-hour period with charitable drives in 77 U.S. towns and cities. Today, Paula Tutman focuses on how your children can get involved in helping others, a lesson about what the giving season really means.
So this is a really cool program. I'm at Gleaners Food Bank, and this happens to be the Kids Helping Kids program. But there's so many different ways you can actually give kids the want, the need, the drive, and the heart to give when you start them at a very early age. These students from Gabriel Richard in Grosse Pointe get community credits for volunteer work, but many of them have long since acquired their required points, and yet they are still here, packing up weekend meals that will go home with children throughout the region.
Some people can't have food to eat when it's especially really cold outside. So something like this makes me happy because I know that they're being fed.
The best way to catch the wonderful bug of giving of yourself is to catch it young. And the holiday season is really one of the best opportunities to get started. We We found Sarah working downstairs at Gleaners with her work group, but she'll be back next week with a brownie troop.
We're from Plymouth, so it's not just about Plymouth, it's not just about the west side of Detroit. There is a greater world out there, and we all should be contributing members to it.
So the computer also makes it really easy for children to help children, even globally. This is one of my favorite websites. I do this with my kids every single year. This is Heifer International. What's really cool about this is it gives children the opportunity to choose how they want to help other children. You can give the child the budget and they can go through and choose the things they want to buy to help a child globally. You can give the gift of a water buffalo. For $60, the gift of seedlings for trees. You can give the gift of honeybees. Flock of ducks, $20. Flock of chicks, $20. Flock of geese. So the thing I like about animals is you have revenue streams and food streams. So you can use the animals in lots of different ways. You can use them for milk. You can use them for products. You can take them to market. So you have lots of ways these animals can be used in a village. With a click of your mouse, your child can feed, educate, even build infrastructure for children in a developing country. And it's great because the child gets to see the power of their actions. Again, just another way to get kids in on the act of giving, not just getting.
I've done a lot of traveling in my life, and I've seen a lot of people that haven't had as much as I've had, and it hurts, honestly. Children
Naturally want to help other children, but it doesn't have to be a toy. In fact, the gift of self is even more powerful because it lasts longer. And when it comes from the hands of a child, it lasts for many years to come because they will learn to find ways to keep giving as they get older. Paula Tutman, Local 4.
Some very important lessons. Thank you, Paula. Ahead, first at 4, mystery blobs on the beach. We will show you the photos that had a lot of people asking questions and what scientists are saying about that discovery. Also ahead, talk about a pot of gold. The story behind this surveillance video of a man stealing something that is very valuable. Doc?
Well, in good health, what sports do you play? Tennis, soccer, or maybe you like to run or swim? Find out which sports can help you live longer. And if you've ever thought it's too late to quit smoking, there's new research that could change your mind. That's all next.
In good health, it is never too late to break a bad habit, and it could help you actually live longer. Dr. Frank George is here with that story.
Well, that's right, Karen. A lot of chronic smokers might think that it's just too late to quit smoking. They don't, it's not going to help them. It might not matter. But there is research that shows it does matter. In fact, the study reviewed smoking data from 160,000 people and found people's smoking history has a huge impact on the risk of death even after age 70. People who were still smoking were 3 times more likely to die than people who never smoked. And former smokers were less likely to die the sooner they quit. So the bottom line is, according to this study, it is never too late to quit, and giving it up can help you live a much longer life, even after age 60 if you give up.
And since we're talking about longer life, apparently there's a study out, which I'm questioning some, that says there's certain sports that actually help you more live a longer life.
Yeah, so I gather you're a bit of a runner. And
yes.
So this study from Australia, relatively new, suggests that running, of all things, and soccer did not reduce your risk of death. Now, this was all-cause death, not just cardiovascular. The study looked at 80,000 adults with an average age of 52, and it found people who play racket sports like tennis have a 47% lower risk of death from any cause. That was followed by swimming, aerobics, cycling. Now, while running and soccer did not reduce the risk of death, the authors say the research shows it's not just how often or how much you exercise, but maybe what kind of activity you choose. But it's not really clear to me why, in this particular case, soccer and running
would not
came out as not being that beneficial for extending life.
I was going to say, since we're in the truth business, it's very important to let everyone know our producer, Tony, loves racket sports. So that could have some reason why.
There might have been a little selection bias here.
I think so. Oh, Tony. All right. Thank you, Doc. Well, imagine walking along the beach and you find these jelly-like blobs on the sand. Take a close look. Now, beachgoers over in Southern California took photos, but unfortunately, scientists couldn't get a closer look. In just a few hours, thousands of the creatures had already disappeared despite not seeing them in person. The researchers took a close look. They believe the creatures were burrowing sea cucumbers. And I have to admit, Ben, I need to Google. I don't know.
Do they go in your salad? I mean,
oh, that would be so gross. They look so jelly.
I wouldn't even have stopped to look at those things.
Yeah, they look like little mini jellyfish, something or other. I don't know. Be careful of the sea cucumbers.
What a mystery.
I guess we don't have any of those here.
No, no. We do have clouds, and those are already here, and they're producing some showers, but really only on the extreme east side. You can see the moisture starting to funnel up here across parts of Monroe County into downriver and just barely starting to brush the city. So if you're going down 75 here in the next couple hours, chances are you are going to be wet, but the rest of the area looks like it's going to remain dry, as a lot of these showers just going to hug the east side here for the next couple hours. Cold front has already gone through, and you can see that the last places to see the 50s in the state, Saginaw, Detroit, right here. The front is out over Lake Huron right now over into Ontario, and that cold air is going to start rushing in. So tonight we're looking at low temperatures that are going to be in the 30s. Going through the rest of tonight, not going to see a ton of moisture, and again, what we do see is going to be confined here to the east side. Lake effect showers and snow showers, not really intense, so they're barely going to get their way over here. Most of that's going to be in the afternoon, probably should be in the form of a raindrop or two. I think a lot of us will stay dry the entire day, but it's going to be cloudy, it's going to be breezy, and it's going to be a lot colder than it is today. 36 tonight for the overnight low. A couple drops, a couple flakes around, but most of us just going to see clouds. Here's your 4-zone forecast. Not too much of a terrible difference between spots here in our 4-zone, but compared to what we have today, that's where the big drop is. Notice these high temperatures just barely getting above the 40-degree mark in our metro zone. Detroit, you're going to be at 42 tomorrow afternoon. South zone, barely scraping by, right at 41 across the entire zone. Clouds are going to keep these numbers pretty tightly clustered together, even in the northern sections of our west zone. Fenton, Flint, Clarkston, all at 40 degrees tomorrow. And in our north zone, not even expecting 30s. Just about everybody's going to hit that 40-degree mark for high temperatures tomorrow. Keep in mind averages in the low 40s, and that's where we're going to reside all the way into the weekend. Not much change until we get towards the middle of next week. We'll bump back towards 50 degrees. Next big system's going to come in late on Sunday. So I think we'll salvage most of the weekend. And then once we get into the later parts of Sunday, could see some rain or snow developing before sunshine finally emerges again on Monday. So it's going to be kind of a dreary finish to the week, Karen, but temperatures right back where they should be this time of year.
All right, thank you, Ben. Still ahead, first at 4. When you think of an armored truck, you might think about gold, hard cash. I should say cold, hard cash. But police are looking for this guy for taking something else that's also very valuable. And trending today, Facebook comes up with another way to keep you online. A blast from the past coming up next, right here, first at 4. Take a look at this surveillance video. Police are looking for this man who literally stole a pot of gold. An armored truck was parked in Manhattan. The thief notices no one's watching, so he loiters, and then he grabs a bucket which weighed about 86 pounds. And look, he just walked away. The bucket filled with gold flakes worth $1.6 million. The heist happened now back in September. Police just released the video today.
86 pounds of gold flakes?
But what do you do with gold flakes?
I don't know.
I mean, I guess I could try. You could make a really pretty necklace or something, but I would think people would catch on if you would try to turn those in. Time now for other trending stories. Facebook bringing classic video games to millions of friends. The site is rolling out a new and free feature called Instant Games. Users will be able to play games like Pac-Man and Space Invaders, or you can play alone or with your friends in the Messenger app. Of course, the goal here is to keep you on Facebook as long as possible. If they had Miss Pac-Man, I would so love it, and I would beat everyone. Just a side note. Netflix also offering something new for you. For the first time, members will have the option of downloading movies or TV shows. Now, usually you have to stream the shows, which means you have to have access to the internet. You will need to update your Netflix app to get the new download button. You can access shows like Orange is the New Black, but others like Gilmore Girls are not available yet. Okay, this is also trending. Everyone's talking about Star Wars fans already pushing the new movie Rogue One into record-breaking territory. The Hollywood Reporter says Rogue One Star Wars story has set a pre-sale record. It is the first standalone Star Wars story, and if some wondered if the fans would turn out, well, they sure are. Right now, the movie is tracking to open above the $130 million mark, and it doesn't even hit theaters until December 16th. Still ahead, first at 4, Frozen in Time, one of the biggest and coldest mannequin challenges we've seen. Ooh, the video next. Finally, first at 4, a group of marathon runners brave extreme temperatures.
Yeah, check this out. They performed what is believed to be the southernmost mannequin challenge. The athletes may have had the advantage of actually being frozen in place before the start of the Antarctic marathon.
Ice marathon, I guess.
Ice marathon. Yeah, it was literally freezing outside. Temperatures at the time were hovering around -4 degrees.
Yeah.
Those are some believable poses, but most mannequins you see, they do things that normal people won't. Yeah, like who does that?
Yeah, who does that? I do. Sometimes it's kind of fun to trick people. Thanks for joining us. Inside Edition's next.